Good day. Good snowy day for some of you, but that's okay. Hopefully you're safe somewhere at school or at home. I'm gonna kick off this week's message with Q&A from the last Reach Regional we had in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Paraphrasing an argument. Citation and argument. So there's still a lot of confusion about that. If you haven't seen it yet, please check out the guidance docs that the ELC put together in conjunction with the Office of Assessment based on the writing exemplars that are released. You can find those at ELAOKteachers.com, of course, and click in the categories menu on OK ELC to see all the resources that they've developed. Now you might benefit from taking the time to read them yourself and determining how that student writing can apply to your instruction, or get some guidance and see that, okay, this is the expectation to reach a level 4. But as we know, for those of us that really want to focus on good writing instruction, we want our students to reach for a level 5. It's a ubiquitous number because it's not on the writing assessment, but we want to teach them past an assessment, right? Of course. Will there be a state 8th writing test next year? Will there be a state 8th writing be incorporated in the reading next year? So this has been talked about before. Dr. Barisi announced at the last state board meeting. There's not going to be a separate 5th or 8th grade writing test. It's going to be all combined into that one reading test. This will be the last year for that standalone writing test in 5th and 8th grade. Here's a question. How does anyone expect us to have a life? That's a tough one, because I know when I started teaching, my social life just plummeted. But you know what became my life was my passion. My passion is teaching, of course. So I don't know, I didn't mind so much. I was hanging around my coworkers more often. I was known for being out with a group of friends and something in conversation would spark off in me, and I would be distracted writing lesson plans on napkins at restaurants. So I'm definitely not the one to answer that question. Overlap in past core standards. If you want to see the overlap in those standards, we do have side-by-sides. However, the side-by-sides are put out by Achieve, and I can provide those for you. I've been providing them upon request only because they were taken off the State Department website because they were causing a lot more confusion than clarification. So if you'd like to see their side-by-side, which I think would be the closest thing we have to like overlap, you can check that out. If you want to see the overlap in the writing assessment, there are side-by-sides of the writing standards on the State Department website under test support. Is it possible to get all the info from the summit without attending? Well, the one presentation I'm going to do at the Reach Summit this month on the 19th is going to be a repeat of what I've done at the Reach Regionals. It's the ABCs of DOK for ELA. The other session is going to be hopefully a writing panel of elementary teachers talking about how they teach writing. And I'll talk to them and see if they'll allow me to record it. Can we have more writing examples of successful essays? Can we have more examples of useful websites? So, gave you all my favorite websites, and I put websites out through this as well, so hopefully you're connecting, but also writing examples. I found some from Achieve the Core. I think it's achieve.org. And yes, you can check out achievethecore.org. Are there helpful websites that teach citing skills? I like easybib.com. I think they have some good documents and handouts you could use. Also, the OWL, the online writing lab at Purdue. How can we prepare students for change and research for teaching grammar with writing? I have to look for my research on grammar instruction. But preparing students for change, I think you just do it like a Band-Aid. One motion, right off. So where am I going to be this month? On Friday, I will be in Ardmore to do another Reach Regional. So if you're in the Ardmore area, please come on down and say hi, and let's learn and create some awesome stuff together. I'm also gearing up to go present at the OMLEA Middle Level Conference on February 27th and 28th. Actually, the conference is on the 27th and 28th. I will only be presenting on the morning of the 28th and the afternoon of the 28th, which is a Friday. I'm going to include the link to submit requests or suggestions for speakers at the 2014 Vision 2020 conference. If you know someone that's really great or have any suggestions, someone you'd like to hear that have brought in, fill out the form on the link and suggest them. Resource of the week, unpacked standards. So North Carolina spent time looking at the standards and then unpacking them, meaning they put them into these categories where they're elaborated a little bit more to provide a little more guidance. Something you might want to look into if you're unclear about the standards or if you're still new to the standards, which hope not, but if you are, it's a great place to start looking at the standards. Now, what I would like though, and this is where I'm asking for your help, tell me if anybody has created this, but I want to take those unpacked standards and put them into a Google Doc format like so. As you can see, it follows the similar format of what North Carolina put together for us. We have the, of course, cited standard. If you needed to cite that practice on any documentation on your lesson plans, if you have to turn them in ahead of time, so you can cite exactly what standards you're going to focus on. It has the actual standard verbatim written out, and then it has North Carolina's guidance, their unpacked clarification statements on the side. But what I want to add is a box here, and if it's a Google Doc, ideally I could publish this out, open it up for editing, and have you use it to post different resources that might support those standards. What other things could we add over here that might give even more guidance? Maybe we add right here different types of learning goals. Maybe then there's a different one that says I can statements for the students to follow. Just a thought, but someone has to have already done this, right? This is just something I threw together just to get out there and kind of show how I'm envisioning it. If you think this would be helpful, let me know, and I'll ask you to help me on it, because it's a lot of copying and pasting. Or if you know that it's already done before, can you share it with me? Because I'd love to see what other people have done. So that's all for this week. I'll be in Ardmore on Friday. I'm probably somewhere else the next week, but can't even think that far ahead at this time. So stay warm, stay safe, and until next week, take care of yourself, take care of your students, and take care of each other. Bye.